My message when I talk to players isn't any different than when I talk to any young person. But basketball players and football players, for some reason, are treated differently from everybody else. They have restrictions placed on them that no other student has placed upon them. And I've never understood it. I didn't understand it when I was a student member of an NCAA committee. I didn't understand why nobody listened to what we had to say. They pretended to listen. They were very nice people, and I think had everyone's best interest at heart. But the truth is, in this whole process, the players don't have a voice now. They've never had a voice, and there's no intention of providing them with a voice. Everything is, you have hand-picked people that are put on committees. When even with all this work that's going on right now with the NCAA working groups that Mark Emmert set up, there's one athlete per group, and there are 20 different people. There are 21 people, one athlete per group. And those athletes are not representative, frankly, of the way college athletics looks, especially in revenue-producing sports. Some of the athletes on those committees don't even play. Actually, there's one athlete that's a representative of the student athlete advisory group that quit his sport, doesn't even play anymore, not even a student athlete.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make any sense to me. But I do think that players having a voice is an important thing. And whether it's for advocacy or other reasons, there's so many reasons why especially in today's world, it's good for players to communicate, to be able to rely on each other, to share their experiences, to learn from each other. That's a good thing. People may look at this as being, oh my God, it's the first step toward unionization or all the negatives that come with it. That's so dumb. There's nothing wrong with the players having a voice. Well, if you accept the premise that an athlete should be treated the same as every other student, then athletes are mistreated. There's no other person in the university community, whether it be a sort of a regular student, university employee, university administrator, that has the restrictions on them that athletes have to live under. Nobody. Any other student can go out and make money off their name and likeness. No problem. Athletes are not allowed to do that. Any other student can choose how much time to spend in a particular endeavor without anybody telling them that's too much or any restriction. That's not right. And the rules are too restrictive, and athletes need to be allowed to do what they want to do, like every other student can do. And that's where I see the biggest problem. And I think for a guy like Nolan Smith, the idea you talked about, he was suspended for 2 games for basically playing basketball. I believe in rules. I'm sensitive to people that say, rules are rules. That's absolutely true. Rules are rules. And dumb rules are dumb rules. And the NCAA has too many dumb rules. Now, to their credit, they're trying to do something about it, and we'll see how that goes. But the idea that a basketball player is suspended for playing basketball, especially when no money was changed hands in it, just strikes me as being absolutely stupid. And I think people see through that. The NCAA office in Indianapolis is full of good people. Their intentions are really good. They're very smart people. And they're very sensitive people. They get very sensitive when they get criticized by folks for what they do and the rules that they have to enforce. But, the general public isn't stupid. They realize that these rules don't make any sense, that they're not fair, and they're dumb, and they're not evenly applied, and the judicial system isn't fair. They know that. You don't have to explain that too many times to the American people. And there's no downside to going to college, and there's no downside to playing in college. It's a tremendous opportunity. But that being said, that doesn't mean that should be all you're allowed. No other student is told that, well, hey, you get this great opportunity to go to school, that's all you get. You can't have anything else, and if you do, you're violating principles, and you're violating our principles of amateurism, and you're no longer qualified to be in school, and this is wrong, and all that. They don't tell any other student that. They tell the athletes that only. And for people who say, including people in the NCAA office that say, well, if players were allowed to benefit from their name and likeness and have other benefits, that's antithetical to what college athletics is about. I think the head of the NCAA making $2 million a year is antithetical to what college athletics is about. But I do have a problem with it when the drivers of the engine, that being the players, are restricted. And they can't get anything above room, board, tuition, and books, and now what I would consider to be a pretty meager stipend. If you really think that basketball is an avocation, it's done just for fun, and it's a voluntary activity, okay, then why can't the players volunteer to play somewhere else or play at a different time, or say, you know what, I don't feel like it today, I got a test tomorrow, how about we do it next week? they would never go for that because there's too much money at stake. It's a business. And well, I think the best thing that people can do is give a voice to the players, that allow them to understand that what you think is important and your ideas are important and your voice is important, and allow them to communicate and talk to each other. And whether it's, I think one of the great things about what you're doing with the Hoop family is that it's not just current college players. There are players that have graduated, who've left college, who can serve as role models and mentors for younger players, and help them through the process. I mean, it's always good, when you hear from folks that have been through it before, and they give you that little piece of advice that helps you navigate the waters when it's your first time through it.